Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in as we continue our morning here during CMA Industry Week with our friends at VOXX Electronics, shifting gears now into a category which arguably could be probably one of the fastest emerging categories for those that don't know. For those who do know, they've certainly been enjoying the profitability and advantages of selling and offering this line of product. And the category we're talking about is ADAS. So I'd like to bring on once again our good friend Joe Dentamaro, Vice President of Mobile for VOXX. Hi, Joe. Welcome back.
Ben, how are you again?
I know it's like one after the next, back to back. It's like speed round dating is what I call it.
Absolutely.
But we're going to shift gears here. I need you to take off your security hat for a second and then put on some driver safety convenience stuff. So ADAS,
Absolutely.
for those that don't know, what does that stand for?
Automotive.
Got you. I don't even know. That's why I have to throw it to you. It's all about convenience, safety, and all that type of accessory. It's such a big line, and I told you offline, Joe, for me, this is one of the most exciting categories because I feel that most of the dealers that we have watching aren't even aware of the potential that this category has.
Yeah. So automotive driving safety assistance, it's a big category for VOXX. It has been for a long time. It's an important category. Obviously, it's very profitable for our dealers, but this really goes to saving lives. It's people make a joke. It's like it's not brain surgery, right? But this really helps save lives, and backup sensors and cameras and collision avoidance detection is very important for our industry and for our retailers out there. Even more important because you'd be shocked and surprised on how many people think you could only get that on a brand new car. It's
number one misconception.
Yeah.
Number one misconception. So,
absolutely amazing.
I think we have somebody that we're going to bring on that'll help us decipher the code on ADAS, especially as far as it pertains to VOXX. And his name is Daniel Biscaglia, and he's the product manager. And we had him on earlier with our discussion about security. Welcome again, Dan.
Yeah, good to be back.
All right. So again, I'm going to have to ask you to change your hat. And now we're talking ADAS. So how large, is that a big deal at VOXX as far as product and SKU offering?
It's not as large of a category as a security or remote start is, but it has definitely grown over the last 5 or 6 years with VOXX. And the addition of Rastra, which we'll talk about in the next half hour, made that even larger for VOXX.
Yep, absolutely. Why don't we dive right in? It's only a 30-minute session. I know you have a presentation that we want to go over, and hopefully we get the chance to ask some questions at the end.
Yeah, sounds good. So we're going to talk about some of the ADAS offerings that VOXX has today. And ADAS stands for Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, just in case you were wondering. The first one we're going to talk about today is blind spot detection. And VOXX has a few different blind spot detection systems. And we'll start off with our top of the line, which is the ADV BSD30. This is our 3.0 or our third generation of blind spot. One of the biggest additions that we have with this kit is a feature called overtaking that we'll talk about here in a minute. But it does blind spot detection. It's got a high and a low range depending on the driver's choice. It has rear cross traffic detection, and it even has GPS for speed detection. That way we do not have to integrate into the CAN system of the vehicle. That can cause a lot of different issues with some check engine lights and some messaging back on the OEM telematics system if the vehicle is equipped. This is our top of the line kit, and it comes with basically everything that you need to do an installation. It has, as I said, blind spot detection. So our vehicle is traveling down the road. The target vehicle is approaching us from the rear, and it's going to pass. Our system's going to pick up that vehicle when it enters the blind spot zone, and it's going to give us a warning on the screen. The next level of detection that it has is the feature called overtaking. So what overtaking is that is when our vehicle is the one doing the passing. Before the BSD30 kit, we could never do this type of detection. So now our vehicle is the one passing the slower vehicle. When the slower vehicle trails behind us and enters the blind spot zone, our kit's going to pick that up, display that on the LED, and if we put our turn signal on, it's going to give us a warning. This is really great when you're the one doing the passing on the highway. It's going to let you know when that vehicle is present. And once that vehicle appears, it's safe to change lanes and move over in front of people. It also has the rear cross traffic feature that's been popular over the last few years. And this works only while the vehicle is in reverse. And it's designed so that it only detects moving objects. If you're in a parking lot, vehicles parked across from you, it's not going to detect those parked vehicles. It's only going to detect a vehicle in motion. So now we can detect cars that are passing us. We can detect cars that we are passing. And we can also detect those cars as we're backing out of our driveway or parking spots in shopping centers. Installation is super easy with this kit. We've included a bunch of different installation tools to help with that. We've included an alignment tool. That way we can easily identify where that sensor needs to be installed on the vehicle and its proper detection angle. We've also included a bunch of installation brackets to help with that as well. So whether we're mounting using the plastic brackets on the vehicle bumper itself, or we're using these new adjustable metal brackets on the vehicle body. So if we're using the plastic brackets, you can see here, it attaches directly to the bumper itself, easy installation. And then there's multiple vehicles multiple angles, depending on the slope of your bumper. So that definitely helps with installation. And then we've also included the metal mounting bracket that helps with mounting to the vehicle body itself. It still needs to be installed behind the plastic bumper, but this bracket allows for easy installation to the vehicle body. And then it even includes an adjustable mount so that you can fine tune the mounting angle. We also have an entry-level line spot kit that is mount behind the bumper, similar style. The only feature this does not have is it doesn't have that new overtaking feature we were talking about. But it does have the radar sensors. It does have the vehicle mounting brackets. This kit actually includes flush mount and surface mount LEDs. So it has the blind spot detection feature that we were talking about. So if a vehicle is trying to pass us, it's going to detect that vehicle and give us the warning when it's in the blind spot zone. It also does have the rear cross traffic feature that we talked about on the BSD30. So if we're backing out of our driveway or we're backing out of a parking spot, it's going to detect that vehicle that's approaching from the left or the right. Again, it's going to ignore any static vehicle, so anything that's standing and not moving. And then we have a more of a universal type piece. This piece mounts to the license plate frame, is a license plate frame, mounts to the license plate on the vehicle. It can be used on pickup trucks. It can be used on cars. It can be used on vans. Anything that has a standard license plate mount. We also have a version of this that is just the sensor bar by itself. So the version with the license plate is the ACA BSD LP. The version that is just the bar without the license plate frame is the ACA BSD LP2. This kit has the blind spot detection that we've talked about, so a vehicle approaching from the rear, and then it also has the rear cross traffic feature that we discussed as well. So all of our blind spot kits will detect a vehicle approaching from the rear, will detect the cross traffic while backing out of your driveway or in a parking lot, but only 30 has an overtaking feature like the OEM. Our next subject is going to be Gentex. If you're not familiar with Gentex, Gentex is an OEM manufacturer of rear view mirrors, HomeLink, and auto-dimming glass. They cover everything across the product spectrum in vehicles for safety. They've been doing rear view mirrors with LCD displays for a very long time for the OEMs. And in 2021, VOXX Electronics became the exclusive aftermarket supplier of Gentex products for all of North America. So if you're looking for anything from Gentex, VOXX has it for you. One of the newest products we have from Gentex in our lineup is the Gen FDM 3LN. This is a full display mirror. It is a frameless design, so it's edge-to-edge glass, and it has a very small glass bezel around the outside of the LCD screen. It's frameless, comes with the camera included in the kit that mounts on the rear window of the vehicle. and it will display that image that's behind us. It also has a mirror mode. So if there's any issues where the back window is dirty, or you're towing a trailer or something where the camera is going to be blocked, you can flip the LCD screen off and it turns into a standard mirror. It also has a backup camera input so that you can add a camera that looks down. So whenever you're reversing out of your parking spot, you can have that dedicated image that looks down towards the ground and the bumpers, so you can back out and make sure there's no obstacles in the way.
Or for a hitch.
Exactly, yeah. So if you're backing up to a hitch, you're backing your hitch up to your trailer, it has that backup camera view just in case your OEM vehicle didn't come with one. You can have everything integrated into this full display mirror.
Yeah,
so
that's the exact same factory mirror that some of the higher end cars like Cadillac and things like that have standard. It's the same exact mirror.
Yeah, exactly. So it's standard in Cadillac on some of their trim levels. It's available on the Silverados. It's available in some of the Toyota vehicles as well. And the only difference between what Gentex does for the OEM and what they do for us in the aftermarket is the casing on the plastic casing on the back of the mirror. All the internals are exactly the same. All the glass is exactly the same. It's manufactured to the same specifications.
Nice.
So you're getting an OEM grade quality product in an aftermarket solution.
Yeah, Joe, you're going to have to send me one to test so I can let you know if that works well.
Yeah, for sure. No problem.
That's a sweet piece.
I get that request a lot.
I'm sure you do. That's a nice piece right there.
When the system's in mirror mode, it's just like every other mirror in your car. You can see the passengers, you can see out the back window. It works just like a standard mirror. But when you flip the little switch on the bottom, it turns into display mode. So it takes the image from the camera that's mounted on the back window, displays it on the mirror, and eliminates all of the blind spots. So if you have an SUV and you have a SUV full of people or cargo, it's going to eliminate all that cargo and just give you the picture of what's behind. It eliminates blind spots, so you have a wider field of view. Now you can see those cars that you would not be able to see in your traditional rear view mirror. And let's say you install a flip down video system that VOXX has. That's always going to be blocking the mirror in the vehicle. Now you can install that video system and one of the Gentex full display cameras and mirrors, and it's going to eliminate that video system from your field of view.
Hey, Dan, I'm trying my hardest not to interject, but I have to ask a question here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would I still need a blind spot detection kit if I had this mirror? Because that diagram shows that it covers the blind spot.
Well, it covers some of the blind spots. So as you can see here, the vehicle is trailing pretty far behind. I would still recommend a blind spot detection kit, because once that vehicle enters this area here,
you're blind.
It's going to be out of the rear view and it may not be picked up in the side view. So blind spot detection is going to give you the best coverage possible.
Okay.
And then it also has the rear camera mode. So you can see here, when you put the vehicle in reverse, it splits off the left side of the image and shows that downward picture from your backup camera. So you can have everything integrated into one spot. Couple notes here. The system does not come with the backup camera, and it does not come with the harness that's required. So if you wanted to use this system with a backup camera, you need to purchase the camera and the harness separately.
Oh, wait, the main camera, or are you talking about the downward facing camera?
The downward facing camera.
Because the main camera comes with this kit.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
The main camera for the drive view comes in the kit.
Okay.
The downward facing backup camera is sold separately.
Now that could be any camera, really. We're in this application using as a downward facing rear, but technically it's just a camera input.
It is just a camera input. It's a standard composite NTSC camera. If you really wanted to, you could put on a trailer camera. The only thing is, it's just going to be this small left side of the image, so it's going to be a smaller image on there. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking dash cams, front bumper cam, other situations. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
A couple differences between the Generation 3 and the previous generations. This new FDM3 does not have HomeLink built in. What we found when with all of the previous generations, most of our customers were purchasing the models that didn't have HomeLink. So when we brought out and introduced the third generation, we removed the HomeLink, but we still have the HomeLink bezels for your customers that want the FDM and still require some type of HomeLink garage door opening. And if we look at the previous generations and the third generation side by side, you can see a big difference here. Yeah. So we have the bezel mirror on the generation 1 and 2, and we have the frameless design edge-to-edge display with the generation 3. So we get a wider display and we get higher resolution as well in the third generation. And then the next product we have with Gentex and HomeLink.
Sorry, Joe. Sorry to cut in. Joe, what is the retail on that piece?
Oh boy.
Sorry, you can circle back. I just want to ask it because we're definitely going to get questions about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Sorry, Don.
No problems. So the next product we have is the Gentex HomeLink Connect mirror. It's got a really long part number, ADV Gen FL CHLN. This takes the frameless Gentex auto dimming mirror with HomeLink, and it integrates Bluetooth into the design. So not only can we control our garage door openers or our RF gates through the standard RF HomeLink, it also has Bluetooth. So now it can connect to our phone, and we can control some different IoT devices that we have in our home. And all of this is done through the app on the phone. You can create different scenes. So let's say you have an arrival scene for button number 1. You're pulling in your driveway, you press button number 1, it's going to unlock your doors, open your garage door, turn on all of your lights, adjust your thermostat, whatever IoT devices you program into that scene. And then you could do the same thing in reverse. You have a departure scene, so you're leaving your house, you press button number 2, it's going to lock the doors for you, it's going to adjust your thermostat, turn all your lights off, close your garage door. So now we're integrating all of those RF and Bluetooth IoT devices all into one convenient button. We're not fumbling around with our phone while we're driving or when we're pulling into our driveway so that we can unlock all of those accessories. So really cool piece.
Yeah.
The full display mirror, $799 is MAP and $899 is MSRP. And then on HomeLink Connect, this one, $219.99 is MAP and $249.99 is MSRP.
USD.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And then the last product we're going to talk about with Gentex is the full display race mirror. This is a really cool system designed for all of the race teams. So this is one of the cars sponsored by Gentex. You can see the mirror here is mounted to the roll bar inside the vehicle. And as we're driving in the cockpit, the racer or the driver has a view of what's directly behind them. So the kit comes with the full display mirror. We call it a mirror, but it actually doesn't have mirror mode. It is just the display for the camera. And it comes with the camera itself. One thing that is very important here, this comes as a kit with the display, the camera, and the harness to install it. There are no mounts included. Everything must be customized by the team to fit that particular vehicle. So you can see on the mirror, it has these small tabs on the left and the right. That's all that's included for mounting. Everything else has to be 100% designed by the race team or the installer. So it's not something that you can buy and mount in your daily driven vehicle. It's going to have to mount to some type of roll bar or overhead system in that car.
You know, I'm looking at that IP69 rating and I can't help but think UTV for this.
Absolutely. That's a great application for it. The camera and the mirror are designed a lot more rugged than the Generation 3 full display for normal vehicles. So you could do ATV, UTV, but it's really designed to be on the track. It's got a high resolution. It's IP69K, which is high pressure water and high pressure dust. So to your point, you could do those on the ATV or
especially
UTV,
the
no
crew
problem.
cab, especially the crew cab ones where there's 4 seats.
Yeah,
You can't really see back, and that is
yeah,
like the hottest market right now, as everybody knows, is Harley Davidson, Marine, and Power Sports. So just having that rating, I think, opens up a lot of opportunities.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, this is an incredible product. We get the request we get for this camera on a monthly basis is just shocking from all the different race teams around the country.
No kidding. And every race, like every motorsport, what I mean, whether it's NASCAR, open, everything. Yeah. Great application.
We had to FedEx one to a race team down in Florida. They were doing a Daytona race, and they had to have one. So it's crazy.
Very neat.
Yeah, and Gentex, before we brought this into the aftermarket, Gentex did supply this to race teams, but they had a lot of different requirements. You had to have their logo. It had to be a certain size, placed in certain locations. This totally opens it up to any race team, any ATV, UTV market. Anybody that can customize this into a vehicle, it's open for. It's not cheap. It is a very expensive product, but it's designed to last.
Have you ever seen a race team's budget? Have you ever looked at a race team budget?
Yeah, but the budget of a race team is completely different than the budget of a guy that has a Mustang 5.0. So you just want to keep those two things in mind.
At the same time, there's guys dropping $70K on a side-by-side.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I'm just saying we're not there to judge, but we got the goods. That's all I'm saying.
You
know what I mean?
I just wanted to throw that out there. So if you contact your
MSRP on it's $2,500.
Oh yeah, it's a serious piece. All right, is that it, Daniel, for the slides?
That's all I have for the slides. Yeah,
that's good because we're out of time. Daniel, thank you so much for being with us and sharing with us a couple cool items in the ADAS category. My takeaway from that is obviously I love the fact that you guys offer so many levels of blind spot detection because not every customer is ready to spend the big one right away, and so you always have to have that good, better, best scenario.
Exactly.
But it's nice to know that you do have that premium one. Because the person who's serious about it says, I want to be safe. This is for my family, whatever it is. You want to be able to say, well, if you want the best, this is the best. And you have that. But again, like I was telling Joe Calabiano, if I had a game changer stamp on the screen, that mirror is game changer. Like it is slick. Like I want one in all my cars.
Yeah.
Immediately. That got my head turning. So I think you guys are really going to do well with that one. And I think a lot of dealers are looking at that saying, okay, I need to show my customers this. So they got to order some right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yep.
Daniel, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
As usual, Joe, I'm going to leave you an opportunity for the last words as far as ADAS and VOXX is concerned.
Yeah, it's, we just limited amount of time in a half an hour, but we just scratched the surface on it. So, get with your VOXX sales rep, regional sales manager, go through the whole ADAS lineup. We have a lot of products in there, the full Gentex lineup, not just the full display mirror, other products, backup cameras, etc. So, seat heaters. We have so much in the accessory or the ADAS category that we didn't touch on today. But again, it's a great category. We're fully entrenched in it. It's just not a fly-by-night product for us. So,
if that was the appetizer, take your time, folks. Go check out the full course meal. I'm sure you can find it on VOXX Electronics. Joe, thank you so much.
All right, Ben. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
There you have it, guys. ADAS category, just scratching the surface, like Joe said, but go check it out. Full lineup of ADAS, security, convenience. They got it pretty much covered. And with Gentex, what a great addition. Thanks for joining us on this one. Until next time, we connect.